there's nothing like talking to DJ Turnup. What are you doing? DJ, what are you doing, brother?
Nothing much, just getting ready for this gig tonight, but talking to you before I go to this little shindig.
Yeah. You're a busy young man. So tell us about the gigs you got. Now I know you're in the Metro Atlanta area, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's funny, I always tell people the same thing. Skating rinks, strip clubs, and everything in between. So the regular things that I usually do is the skating rink. It's a skating rink in Stone Mountain called Stone Mountain Skates, and then there's and then I do a strip club day shift near the airport called Go Show Bar, and then I do another skating rink called Sparkles in Lawrenceville. So I'm kind of like all over the place.
Yeah,
which actually bums me out, Tony, because I'm not gonna lie, I do want to get in the midst of all of you guys' like little activities and stuff, like the Zoom calls and stuff, because I was only able to do like one or two,
right?
But doing it, the Friday Rampage watch along, so like I'd be at work, so
right. There was a Sparkles near us, and then it closed, and I remember taking my children, and this is back in the 90s, to the Sparkles in Lawrenceville. I do remember that.
Oh wow!
How about that? So, any fringe benefits of the strip club? Just okay.
Which is actually funny. They actually do have a 401k. I haven't really looked into it because I don't know. I just young and dumb. We don't look into stupid shit like that. But I think they do have like a 401k. But I don't know. That's for older people. But
a strip club with a 401k, man. Your boobs may drop when you're older, but we're still going to give you money.
I mean, hey, man.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, okay, so here's our bonus podcast that you selected. I even had forgotten about all this until you sent us your email. We're going to go back and take a look at the XWF. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Shout out to Conrad, because he does a lot of research, and it's funny. I listen to a lot of the different stuff that I've never heard of, and I actually learned a lot through his podcast.
Yeah.
But that's a time that's always just skipped over, is the XWF time, where WCW closed down, right. And then in between you doing TNA, right. No one ever talks about the XWF. So
right.
I'm interested to see what information you guys come up with for XWF.
Yeah, it was I'll put it this way: we were a shoe company trying to get our name out, and the WWE was Nike. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the best. So this is cool because I'm in it. Jerry the King Lawler's in it. Bobby the Brain Heenan, Gene Okerlund, Hulk Hogan is in it. Just a lot of names that you knew from the 90s, now in a very different organization. So. And what's cool about this too, DJ, is Jimmy Hart and Brian Knobbs, two of the guys that began the XWF, get on there with us, and you'll be able to hear them talk about the formation of the XWF. So it's all really cool stuff.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it, so I'm just interested to see if you guys are able to find any other information, any background information on it. So I'm intrigued.
You know what? We'll probably just end up just talking about tits and ass and telling dirty jokes. But no, we're going to have a good time with it. So
yes, we are. And it would make it an even better time. You know what I'm going to ask for, Tony.
Yeah, you asked for me to rap, and last time you did one for us, I rapped.
Hey, and you did great.
Thank you.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
It was great.
And I did that just for you, and that's the first time you give me any feedback on that. First time.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, Tony, you're a busy man. I can't just hit you up every time. You're a busy man.
All right. Let's take a look at XWF Volume 1. We have a YouTube link at the bottom of the page here, or the bottom of the notes, so you'll be able to click and watch along with us. DJ, you the man, buddy. I appreciate you.
No, I'm the man standing next to the man. Thanks, Tony.
Ladies and gentlemen, Welcome to the main event. Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett First Arcade, 605 NWA, TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede, Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Teams, Turner, Bond, and Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North they win, look, Schiavone's back again, world title split off, center stage, Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro, New World Order, and The Crow, Thunder, Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chair. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when? WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Welcome to a little bonus action all up in that ass exclusively for Patreon. Tony Schiavone is with us. Noah, how are you today, kind sir?
I'm fine, Conrad. How are you today, fine sir?
Better than I deserve. Excited to be with you because we've got a fantastic piece of bonus content. We're going to include the link below. You're going to go to YouTube, where we are going to be watching something I have never seen. The XWF. What could have been, maybe, possibly, potentially. This should be fun, at least for one of us. Do you have any painful memories about this?
I don't know if I have any painful memories. It wasn't really bad. It wasn't that bad of a deal. I got to meet some new people. I had never met Sable before. And I got to meet her and talk to her, and she was really, really cool. I do remember David Penzer, who was a part of it, was like this big pain in the ass.
Always.
Yeah, but I mean, even more so, he tried to organize things, and he was just, and let's see, I got to meet Dawn Marie for the first time. And there's a couple other guys. It's also, I think we're going to see Heenan in this show. It also, I got a story about that, which is, well, it wasn't bad. It was kind of cool. Well, actually, it wasn't kind of cool. It was kind of bad.
Well, while Tony makes his mind up, I want to remind everybody that we bring you not one, but two of these pieces of bonus content behind the paywall here on Patreon. And we greatly appreciate all of your support. Hope you all had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I can't believe that Christmas is right around the corner. And we're going to try to have Christmas come a little early and crank you out something a little extra over your holiday travel and all that jazz. But I'm pumped about this, man, because this is something I've never seen before. And it's going to give me some ideas because we haven't talked about it a lot yet, Tony. But I think we're about ready to announce our special weekend that we do every year. And I'm looking for motivation. I'm looking for inspiration. I'm looking for ideas. And I'm hoping that I get some from this XWF episode.
Okay.
How about that?
That sounds good. I love motivation, love ideas, love all that stuff.
Well, without further ado, I think we should get this party on track here. Now, you usually do a countdown for us, but we got a slapdick tagging along with us today. Are we going to do a special one, or what are you thinking we should do today for a countdown?
We're going to have this special slapdick counted down for us.
I'm for it if you are.
Yeah.
Heidi ho, everybody.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck, what is that?
Heidi ho, everybody.
Happy bonus.
Happy bonus. Okay.
It's bonus time.
Bonus time. This one, by the way, before we go through our countdown, is from DJ Turnup. He's the one that's choosing the XWF episode 1. So
hang on. Spell it for me. Are we saying turnip like turnip green, like collard green, or turn up like what Silva does whenever they got 2 for $1 at the Whataburger?
Yeah. No, it's like turn up the volume.
Oh,
turn up.
Yeah, got it. Well, in Alabama, people would still get excited about DJ Turnup. You know?
Yeah. Also, just to let you know, we kind of went through all the low-key big hogs who suggest a bonus episode. So now we're just asking low-key big hogs to send us in a bonus episode, and we're taking them in order as they come.
There you go.
The first one.
I like it.
All right, so he was the first one.
DJ Turnup.
Turn up.
Well, listen, we hope you have seen the notes here, because down below, that's where the link is. So you can watch along with us. If you're like me, you were trying to fornicate with ladies and drink till you threw up, and you weren't really interested in what Brian Knobbs was doing with his new pretend wrestling promotion. So as a result, I missed this back in 2001 and 2002. I discovered the joys of vagina. But now I'm married, so I got free time. So let's watch a little XWF, shall we?
Okay. Where's our special countdown guy?
I've been teasing it. I've been promoting it. I just hope
Here I come. I'm coming.
Oh, Lord.
In 3, 2, 1, play.
Welcome to the lost episodes of the XWF. I'm Nasty Boy Brian Knobbs.
And I'm the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Hey, Knobbsy, baby, why don't we tell the great wrestling fans out there how the XWF actually got started?
Well, right here you got two of the founding members along with Greg the Hammer Valentine. When we started this thing back in 2001, the state of the wrestling world was changing. Ted Turner's World Championship Wrestling was crumbling. There was a big void left in professional wrestling. For the first time in 40 years, there was only one wrestling organization out there, the WWE. So, therefore, the XWF was created. Not to compete with the WWE, but an alternative for the fans. Hey, Greg, Jimmy, and myself, we knew wrestling, but we never ran a wrestling company before. But with the help of a lot of friends, we got this thing kicked off the right way.
You know what? You're right, Knobbs. And you know what our philosophy was? We wanted wrestlers from the past, the present, and the future. Our motto was no more prima donnas. You know, we just wanted a bunch of guys that love wrestling.
So we went after the biggest stars ever, including Hulk Hogan. You know, we talked to a lot of guys on the phone, and they laughed a little bit when they heard that me, Jimmy, and Greg were running our own wrestling organization.
Hey, wait a minute, now speak for yourself.
But I'll tell you what, we got the right people behind us. Roddy Piper, Kurt Hennig, Mean Gene, the Road Warriors. We got them all involved. We got this thing off to a good start.
You know what? So strap on your seatbelts, baby, because we're going to take you now to Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida, for the tapings of the XWF in your face.
The greatest wrestler of all always stands tall. And I sure hope that I end up right in the XWF. So what are you gonna do when the XWF runs wild on you?
So based on that, he thinks he can compete with Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. Is that what we're insinuating here?
No, as you heard Jimmy Hart say, not to compete. We just wanted an alternative.
I think Brian Knobbs said that, but either way.
Okay, then he would have said, we didn't want to compete. We just wanted an alternative.
For the fans. Ah.
Yeah.
But then the very first thing we see on camera is
Hulk Hogan.
Stones may sink and rocks may fall.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. But remember, as Jimmy Hart said, no prima donnas.
Yes.
Well,
so,
I got news.
We want to know prima donnas, so we went into business with Hulk Hogan, dude.
No, I got news. Yeah. if you're going to have a wrestling show, you're going to have prima donnas.
Listen to this.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mean Gene Okerlund, and welcome to the Universal Arena, the red carpet, and the XWF. A lot of speculation about the unveiling of this great organization, but this is our inaugural flight tonight right here. And by the way, we're going to be talking throughout the course of the program with some of the top international stars from throughout the world. So come along and enjoy the excitement and fun of the XWF.
All right, thanks very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a program without precedent.
This is the birth of the XWF. And hi, I'm Tony Schiavone, one of your commentators here at ringside. Well, the people of the XWF contacted me and they said, would you like to come to our program? We talked over about who would occupy this broadcast chair next to me. As you know, I've worked with some of the greats in pro wrestling, Bobby the Brain Heenan, the living legend Larry Zbyszko, the governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura. But the main reason I came back was to be able to broadcast beside this man. Welcome with me, my broadcast colleague for the XWF, ladies and gentlemen, Jerry the King Lawler.
So as a reminder, Lawler had recently quit the WWF because they were firing his girlfriend / wife, I guess it was, Stacy Carter. And of course, then, after he quit his job for her, she started fucking one of the Dups, and, he didn't like that. That wasn't part of his plan. So he eventually goes back, but before he does, we get this, which is pretty cool when you think about it. I mean, Mean Gene was, you know, one of the most dominant and critical faces to wrestling presentations from the 80s. And now you've got the voice of Nitro and one half of the voice of Raw. Yeah. This is a really big time get. And I can't help but watch this and think about TNA. TNA started in 2002. This is 2001. Maybe they were ahead of their time here a little bit.
I think in many ways they were. It kind of, if you think about it, they have Lawler.
Yeah.
They have Hogan. They have Mean Gene, like you said. Why? I didn't read that. I haven't read that much about it, but why didn't it work? Maybe it didn't work because it was Knobs and Greg Valentine running the show. I don't know. I've told the story before well, here's Mean Gene. We'll listen to him.
It's me a great deal of pleasure on our inaugural voyage to introduce to you the XWF's Chief Executive Officer, Rena. Oh, yeah, she's the boss here. Our CEO. Woohoo. Wow, King, what a boss. Oh, baby. My favorite puppies of all time. Oh, Rena, the CEO. Oh, be still my beating heart. Boy, if I could steal a line, and this won't be the first one I'll steal, but is she looking live tonight or what? Oh, my God.
So listen, the set looks a lot like Nitro and Raw and Thunder had a baby.
Yeah.
And we've got the gray mat with the XWF logo on it. We got yellow ropes. We got red turnbuckles, yellow and red. I wonder where that came from. But so far in the program, we've seen Hulk Hogan open the show. We've got Tony Schiavone and Jerry Lawler. Yeah. We've got Mean Gene. We've got Sable. This is a who's who of professional wrestling so far. This feels big time, dude.
Yeah, it did. It had a big feel to it. And again, to the story, I was in the meeting, the first meeting, and Knobs was running the meeting. And you're going to see the Road Warriors here too. And Road Warrior Hawk was sitting beside me. And he looked at me and he said, actually, he didn't look at me. He said to the side of his mouth, he says, Knobs running this thing, it has no prayer. So maybe it was, I don't know why it just never found a home, right?
Well, here's what happened. You guys taped 10 episodes here in November of 2001. The episodes are taped. They're prepared for broadcast. And the talents who were on the show were only signed for those 10 episodes. So they didn't have like long-term contracts.
Okay.
They were signed for these sets of tapings. And once Vince heard what the collection of talent was, he hired Jerry Lawler back. He hired Hulk Hogan back. He hired Mr. Perfect back. He hired Roddy Piper back. The idea is he's going to snatch up all that he can.
Right.
And shut this down.
Right. Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Kind of like, he's kind of like Nike. And we were like a shoe company trying to start out.
Well, they tried it a few other times. You know, it was stopped and started and launched and all that jazz. They tried to do some house shows in the spring of 2002. Jimmy Hart acquired the rights in 2004, and he tried to do some stuff. And in 2008, they announced they were trying to make it come back, and it's never going to happen. But check this out. The next star we see, Roddy Piper.
Wow.
The set looks nice. You know, I mean, I wish there were some fans down there or something, but still, it is a nice presentation. We got big pyro for some of these talents, and it looks cool. Somebody spent a bunch of cash here and lost their ass, clearly.
Yeah. And I wonder who that was.
Do you remember getting a payday? I mean, was it substantial or no?
No, it wasn't substantial.
Okay.
Because I remember Jimmy Hart had asked me, do you want to do this? And I went, I really, I don't. And he said, well, come on. He said, just give me a number. And I gave him a number. I gave him like an astronomical number. And it was like, I don't know. It was something like $5,000 an episode or something like that for 10 episodes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And he said, darling, we can't afford that.
Oh.
So I said, then Jimmy, tell me what you can afford. So he came up with a number. I don't remember what it was. And I accepted it.
Just because it was easier.
Yeah. So that's how it happened. And,
so just so you know, Piper is going to be here playing babyface commissioner.
Okay.
Just make sure everybody's got that.
Babyface commissioner.
Yeah.
She's running the company and he's babyface commissioner. She was obviously when we were running WCW, she was Johnny B. Bad's wife, who was just kind of in the background. And I never will forget this day because it was the first day I really met her. And when she was Johnny B. Bad's wife, she was always very quiet. She never said a word when she was around him. And then all of a sudden I talked to her in the back and she became this completely different person. She really, thanks to her time in the WWE, really came out of her shell.
And she became a huge star.
Yes. She was completely unlike the girl that I remember. So, and she was so nice and just really talkative in the back. And I'm thinking, man, this is not the same girl. But it was. And I guess working for Vince McMahon brings out the best in you.
It's fascinating to see and to think about what could have been based on my quick research, which included, Googling it. Mm-hmm. It turns out that Kevin Harrington is the guy who originally pitched this. You probably remember him. You've seen him on Shark Tank and shit like that.
No,
but he was, okay.
I don't watch Shark Tank.
He did infomercials and such. Not as a host. It was like his company. And I guess he was one of the original guys who wanted to try to help put this together.
Okay. Good for him.
So Sable is the heel CEO. Piper is the babyface commissioner. And I know we had a 2-minute preamble from Nasty Boy Knobs and Jimmy Hart, but we're like 12 minutes in and we're still just standing around talking. And for this to be the X-citement Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
I was hoping for something, exciting. Don't you think?
Yeah, I was too. But again, when you got Piper and you got Hogan, you're going to have a lot of talk.
And that was the formula at the time. You started with a big promo.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like, well, why don't we just have some matches? So, oh, wow. As if that wasn't enough. Here's Gene Simmons.
Rock and roll all night and party every day.
You have not seen what my demons can do yet. You may look like your next door neighbor,
but he's not. No, he's coming to get ya in your face.
We just did a cutaway of the demon yelling in your face.
Uh-huh.
So now we've got Big Veto versus Buff Bagwell.
Whoa.
Again, XWF.
So, As I'm watching my YouTube version here, I'm looking over the side and seeing all the different other videos, and there's one that says Dave Pinter explains what was the XWF. Yeah, I won't watch that.
I want to mention Big Veto, one of only 2 wrestlers to physically assault me ringside as a fan, and it was wonderful.
Wow.
It was 1997. That was 1998. Maybe 99. Yeah.
Right.
98 was not it. 98 was when Bubba Ray Dudley assaulted me. And 99 was in Big Veto assaulted me.
Can you explain the actual
assault?
Yes.
Big Veto came out first. He was on the first ECW match. You know what? Let me just look it up so I can give you the exact dates, because I know
this was at an ECW show
in Birmingham, Alabama, at the Bagwell Auditorium.
The old Bagwell.
So let me just jump in here and I'll give you the exact date. I think you'll be pleased. Yes, it was indeed August 6th, 1999, at the Bagwell Auditorium in Birmingham, Alabama. There's 900 fans there. On top, we had the ECW champion Taz wrestling Yoshihiro Tajiri. We had Sabu and Just Incredible in a death match. We had Francine pinning Steve Corino. We had Steve Corino wrestling Wild Bill Wiles.
Yeah.
We had the ECW tag team champions Spike Dudley and Balls Mahoney fighting Bubba Ray and Devon to a no contest in a street fight. We had Jerry Lynn pinning Tracy Smothers. We had Chris Chetty and Nova teaming up to take on Simon Diamond and an unknown, which made me laugh. Super Crazy in there with Little Guido, but the opening bout had Danny Doring and Roadkill taking on C.W. Anderson and Vito LaGrasso. At the time, I think they were calling him Skull Von Crush.
Right.
Either way, he was the first guy out. And so, you know, there's a lot of anticipation on a wrestling show.
Yeah.
Especially when it's getting started.
Right.
You know, so when they first play the ECW sound or whatever and bring the lights down, people go, whoa, a big pop. And so all right, we're finally here. It's, we bought these tickets months ago and we drove and we paid for parking and we got our seat, we got our program, and man, we're ready now. Here we go. It's finally here. And then they play a song you've never heard of before. Not some iconic theme song that you know very, very well, just random whatever. That's what we got. Random whatever. And out comes Vito LaGrasso or Skull Von Crush, whatever. I didn't know this motherfucker, but I had a sign ready for him because I was a little smart ass.
I bet.
And as I like to bust balls here, I apparently like to do it back then too. I thankfully grew out of this phase, but maybe I didn't.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I had a sign that was small, but very large, bold print letters, very easy to see.
Yeah.
That just said jobber.
Oh.
He took great offense. Tried to wrestle with me to get the signs. Spit on me.
No.
It was, I filed papers. Not really.
You probably enjoyed it.
I'm not a douche. Of course, I wanted attention and I got it.
Yeah. Guys, we all know that confidence can take you far in life. That's especially true in the bedroom, especially when it's time to step up to the plate. And that's where BlueChew comes in. We've been talking about BlueChew for, since WHW was created. That's because BlueChew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets. And here's the key, at a fraction of the cost. It's very simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And the best part, it's done online. So no visit to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. BlueChew tablets made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door. in a discreet package. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, chew it and do it. Have better sex. We've got a special deal for our listeners as we come to you from the BlueChew studios. Try BlueChew free when you use our promo code WHW at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code WHW to receive your first month for free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank BlueChew, as always, for sponsoring What Happened When. Damn.
He was hoping that I would fuck around and find out. I just eventually grew up.
You know what? You are, again, on the cutting edge of everything.
I don't know about that.
You're ahead of your time. You were a troll before trolls were a thing.
I were.
Mm-hmm. You were.
That show, it's funny to go back and take a look at this now. I'm on the historyofwwe.com, and I saw that in Birmingham we had 900 folks. The next day they went down to Dothan, Alabama, had 400. And then 5 days later they went to Columbus, Ohio, had 700.
Yeah.
A week later they were in Duluth and they had 550. Then they ran Columbus, Georgia, and they had 200.
Oh, wow.
Then they ran Gainesville and they had 400. It's like, dude, it's no wonder these motherfuckers went out of business.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the good news was Paulie didn't pay him anything for all that anyway. So he made the money.
He was making payroll and then he couldn't, but that's why he couldn't. Now, along the way, you know, Anarchy Rules, I think that was their biggest crowd they ever did.
Yeah.
That was the next month and they had 6,000 people there. And right before there, they did a TV taping in Buffalo, and they had almost 4,000. Wow. Man, Buff's losing a little hair out there, isn't he?
Yeah, buddy, he was. Saw him at WrestleCade, and he's walking with a cane right now.
But I heard he looks and sounds better than ever.
Yeah, he does.
And that is exciting.
That is good news. He is apparently getting back on the, as they say, straight and narrow.
It's real. It's not working.
No, it's not.
Oh my gosh. Check this out. Marty Jannetty. Now I'm not sure, but I mean, we just saw the graphic.
It's right, yeah, it's right here, man. Here, mission. Knock.
That's Prince Iakea.
Man, come on. There you go. What? All right. These are the true tough guys. What's going on, man?
That's AJ Styles in the back.
Giving everybody a fair shake.
Yeah, man.
That's Psychosis without the mask in the back.
I came through every rank, and I had to fight one guy at a time. You guys are the most talented guys I've seen.
That's Cruiserweight too, I think.
Yeah, that's the juice on his shoulder. That looks like Low Key in the back too. You got a lot of great talent here, but unfortunately they made the mouthpiece Prince Iakea.
Same time, pinfall, submission, over the top rope, it don't matter. Last man standing, Cruiserweight champion. Let's just start it there. Is it good for you? Any problems with anybody? I got it. Then boys, go do it, man. Come on. I love you.
All right, Jerry, pay attention here, King. Oh, what? We're talking about the celebrities. Tony, take a look at the celebrities that we heard earlier today, the formation of the XWF, including Carlos Colon from Puerto Rico. What a big day it's been as we go back to David Pinson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Tampa, Florida, Marty Jannetty.
So that's the first time you were around Marty Jannetty besides like a cup of coffee with WCW since like 89, right?
I was there for the Rockers in the WWE.
I said 89.
You said WCW though.
Yeah, but he was in, okay, I'm with you. But what I'm saying is he was actually in WCW. You don't remember that.
I do not.
But he was for a cup of coffee. But I'm saying you may have seen him for just a cup of coffee with WCW because he was like on Thunder. But you got to spend some time with him in 89. I guess what I was trying to get to is, had you seen the evolution of Marty Jannetty from when he went to partier to guy trying to get his life back on track to now he walks on his ankle and tries to fuck his own daughter? Or, I mean, what was, he killed a guy in the woods behind the bowling alley because he tried to touch his weed. You saw the full evolution of Marty Jannetty, right?
I was unfamiliar with the full evolution of Marty Jannetty.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, a couple years ago, he loves talking about cocaine. He'll talk about cocaine on Facebook like nobody can see it. Like maybe it's just for us and the police aren't allowed to see it, but the police do in fact read Facebook. But he talks about cocaine and how much he loves it and how he wants to have sex with every girl in the trailer park every day. And I guess he finally ran across one that he thinks was his daughter. And he asked and did a poll on Facebook. Should I have sex with my daughter? And before y'all answer, let me just tell you, she's hot. And I really want to. Something like that.
Is this a real thing?
Yeah. You should just look up Marty Jannetty daughter.
Okay. I don't want to do
And
that.
a couple years later, it came out, through his own Facebook again, that, once upon a time, a guy at a bowling alley propositioned him for a little homosexual sex.
Yeah.
And he said he don't play like that. So he killed him and put him in a river.
Okay.
This is, I wish I was making
this is like bizarre.
Now I just assumed, all right, he's just trying to be outrageous and get some attention. There's no way this is real.
Right.
Like if any of this was real, he would have been in jail. And maybe I just maybe I'm naive and I have more faith and confidence, in our justice system. But goodness gracious.
So since the police do read Facebook, did they try to fish a body out of the river?
I do think they investigated it, and I think he came out and said something like, "I was just kidding, y'all."
Okay.
But if you let me just see what happens when I Google Marty Jannetty killed a guy. Okay. Here we go.
Okay. This is a kind of bizarro world edition of what happened when bonus. God.
Jannetty, best known for being a member of the Rockers tag team alongside Shawn Michaels, suggested in another Facebook post on August 5th that he killed a man in self-defense when he was 13 years old, prompting the Columbus Police Department in Georgia to open an investigation. An official from the Columbus Police Department told TMZ Sports the case is quote unquote still open for investigation. Now, this is after he got back on Facebook and said, "Hey, I didn't murder that man. It was just the beginning of a damn wrestling storyline. Oh my God, OMG. Didn't the world buy it? I never knew it could be that easy, but I know I got to drop it now that the police are involved." All right. So now that we did that, let's see. I'm going to Google Marty Jannetty sex with daughter.
Okay. Meanwhile, we're going to bring Horus Hogan to the ring.
Okay. I rarely do ask this, but I'm going to ask your advice. She claims she's 20, which in Bama is legal. But does she look 20 to y'all? She said her mother is a huge fan of mine and she will see me first. Well, this shit y'all don't get to deal with. What do you think I should do? Not trusting of the age. Okay.
God.
Yeah. Anyway, it keeps going, but I guess you're probably over the Marty Jannetty stuff because our explanation lasted longer than his match. Now we're on to the next one, which now features Ian Harrison. This is a jacked up looking mug right here.
Yeah. The guy that Jimmy Hart brought out was a jacked up looking mug too, to face Marty Jannetty and meet Marty Jannetty.
He's 5'10", 258 pounds, started wrestling in 1999 from Leeds, England. He was born January 3rd, 1969.
Oh, good God. Did we ever see him again? Did he ever wrestle anybody else?
I think he did a TNA shot and he did some Memphis wrestling and maybe some Puerto Rico, but we didn't see him like on a main stage here. And that's Horus Hogan. Yeah.
Yeah. Horus.
You love Horus, don't you? Didn't you tell me you had some good horror stories?
I don't have no good horror stories.
Nobody does.
No, but he wasn't a bad kid.
Let's see if we can get him on the show.
What, Horus Hogan?
He's only 57. I think we should get him.
He probably wants to take some bumps.
Maybe it's a different type of bump than the type that Marty Jannetty's looking for. But he's Mike Awesome's cousin.
Okay.
And Horus is the son of Alan Balea, the brother of Hulk Hogan, which makes him Hulk Hogan's nephew. So think about that.
So it really was, this thing was really, him being of the Hogan family really was a shoot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hulk Hogan's nephew.
always thought it was a work.
Who had better matches? Hulk Hogan, Horus Hogan, or Mike Awesome?
Mike Awesome did.
Agree. Now, this one will be harder. Okay. Now you got to think about this one because you just rattled that off real fast.
Okay.
Who drew more money? Horus Hogan, Hulk Hogan, or Mike Awesome? Now don't answer right away. Really think about that now. Cause I told you what ECW was drawing back in the day. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
All right. Now, have you come to a decision?
I would think it would have been a Hulk Hogan.
Incorrect. It's Horus Hogan.
Bullshit.
We had a discussion this week on WHW that maybe you have or maybe you have not yet listened to, but about who was over and the definition of over.
Yeah.
And what over meant. Who would you say was more over? Mike Awesome or
Let me think about this now. Oh, wait a minute. Here's Jimmy and Sags again. No, Knobs, whatever his name is.
Sags again?
Hey, and what about the voice of WCW, Tony Schiavone, teaming up for the first time with Jerry the King Lawler? Hey, and what about our commissioner, our CEO, Roddy Piper, and the artist formerly known as Sable, Rena Mera?
Oh, man. And then we had the young guys, the monsters, that the guy you were managing, Hale, and Ian Harrison. We had a variety of wrestlers. Something for everyone.
Hey, and what about the Cruiserweight, the Battle Royal? Was that not good? An outstanding ovation. Let me tell you what. Christopher Daniels, Kid Cash, and the phenomenal AJ Styles. You know what? We got to check this match out.
Yeah, we crowned our first XWF Cruiserweight champion. Check it out.
Wow. Christopher Daniels. Holy smokes.
Tony, if you're into it, I can get you the ring used XWF titles.
The belts?
Yeah, the actual belts.
No,
I know you're a big belt collector. You've held on to that 6-man title now for 30 years.
Yeah. No.
Isn't it, this tells you we got a bunch of guys we want to put on the show, but we don't really understand what they do or how to showcase them.
Uh-huh.
We're going to put the Cruiserweights in a battle royal.
Right.
The very nature of a battle royal doesn't lend itself to guys jumping off the top rope because they could just, all right, you're out.
Right.
So like, if you're going to do like a Cruiserweight thing, you should do a tournament.
Yeah.
You shouldn't necessarily do a battle royal. Now, if you got a bunch of big behemoths who can't do much of shit except punch and kick and chop meat, well, then you should do a battle royal. Like if Dave Silva and I had to wrestle, I want he and I to have to do a battle royal.
Really?
That makes more sense than doing a
right
Iron Man match.
Yeah, because look at Christopher Daniels. Christopher told me, he said, I worked in WCW for a time and did something to XWF. I said, I don't remember you, dude. Sorry.
Well, there he is, and you're calling his action, but you don't give a fuck, Well, you're there to get a check and then go call balls and strikes.
Well, you weren't wrong.
When you pull into the driveway, the driveway I've been in 2 or 3 times, when you pull into the driveway after you're coming back from these tapings, and you put your key in the door and you spin it, and Lois goes, well, how did it go? What'd you say?
I say, come on, Bug, let's go to the Batcave.
Listen, Bug wasn't with you in 2001.
Oh, you're talking about back then?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
Did you think this had legs?
Yeah.
You thought I'm back in wrestling.
No, I didn't think, no, I'm back in wrestling. I thought this thing could probably help supplement my income. I didn't think that I was going to make wrestling my career back. I didn't think I was going to stay in pro wrestling. I thought this would supplement my income.
Okay.
So I didn't think I'm back. Notice how they shoot this too.
AJ Styles got sky high.
Oh my God. Ahead of his time again, right?
That was 21 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he was that good.
Yeah. So we got Low Key in there and
Kid Cash
Daniel in there. Yeah.
Christopher Daniel. I can't tell who's slumped over in the corner.
Yeah, I can tell that's Low Key the way he's with those fists.
Yeah.
And the way he's kicking them. Yeah.
Oh, that stupid ass Prince Ikea. So we got Prince. We threw AJ Styles out to make sure that we had Prince Ikea. So we got Prince Ikea, Christopher Daniel, Low Key, who you can tell by 2001 is going to be a big star.
Yeah.
I thought Low Key was good. Seriously, I thought Low Key was can't miss. It was different. It felt different. It felt cool. He moved different. He had cool mannerisms. He had great moves. I was like, man, this guy. And of course it never happened.
And I think he's his own worst enemy.
That's what I've heard, is that the reason it didn't happen is because of him. I don't know him. I've never met him, but that's certainly the rap on him.
I worked with him in MLW, and he was just a cool guy, and had a lot of business sense. I thought, but again, I heard that he
was a goof,
alienated a lot of people. Yeah. You know, there comes a time, and I can tell you this right now.
Please tell us right now. Don't tell us later. Tell us now.
Okay, I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
There comes a time where promoters and owners of the companies, people in charge, just kind of get tired of you.
Yeah. They get tired of your bullshit.
There comes a time when they say, you know what? This person is probably going to help us out a great deal, but fuck it. We're just moving on. Not
probably is going to, but could.
Yes.
But at the same time, the other thing they think about is at what cost.
That's right.
Now, and cost, by the way, I remember I was a young man.
Yeah.
Take you back. It was the fall of 2001. I've been doing mortgages for about 8 months.
Okay.
I go visit my appraiser friend and have some questions about, hey man, I'm just trying to understand some of these areas I've never really gotten to in my travels. What would you think this could be worth? What would you think that could be worth as far as an area and a price per square foot on average, things like that? Just trying to learn the lay of the land.
Yeah.
And as we're talking, this old fella comes in and we could see the parking lot, and he says to my friend, or my friend says to him, hey man, saw your ex-wife came to visit. Get you some of that pussy? And he looked right at my friend and said, nope, it costs too much. And my friend goes, huh? And he goes, it costs too much. And I ain't talking about money. And I was like, I get it. I understand. And that's sort of what you're saying, that sometimes when it costs too much, it's not necessarily the check. You're just a lot. It comes with conditions. There's strings. Doing business with this person means you gotta blah, blah, blah. And unfortunately, a lot of people felt that way about Kid Cash, who now is the XWF world champ.
The Cruiserweight champ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is probably going to be a big deal for something where the first word of the federation is excitement.
I don't know who this is.
What's he doing? He's bringing him backstage. Says he thought you got a raw deal. I'm going to introduce you to some boys in the back. There's your new champ, and we're coming back on the XWF.
I'm Alice Cooper, XWF, in your face. Welcome to my nightmare.
Wait, so that's the deal. They want to yell in your face. Now I get it. It's the tagline for the piece of shit show. So the Nasty Boys are going to wrestle the Shane twins because, well, of course they are. Do you remember the Shane twins?
I do not.
Oh, you're going to love them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We got X-Girls Inc.
The Shane twins also wrestled as the Johnsons in TNA.
Oh.
So they would wear flesh-colored suits, head to toe. Kind of like the Ding Dongs, except not orange or whatever color they were, just like flesh-colored.
Right.
And their name was the Johnsons.
Got it.
Because they wanted to look like dicks, Tony.
I got it. Did you notice when they showed the X-Girls there, who one of the X-Girls was?
Booker T's wife.
Another X-Girl?
I don't know. I got to Booker T's wife.
I believe it was Leia Meow.
Well, we've talked about her.
Leia.
Come on, I want to Leia.
Yeah.
Who we have established was, believe it or not, Jimmy Hart's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I've never asked him about, but I need to. Because, high five.
High 10.
There you go.
Fist bump, buddy.
Double high five. It would be like if all of a sudden people told us that you were an item with DDP's old stepdaughter who does backstage interviews for y'all. You'd be like, what?
Right.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
That's Tony?
Right.
He's like a Ken doll. It's just all smooth down there.
Yeah. You would know if something like that would happen to me. You wouldn't even have to hear the rumors.
Oh, Jeff Jones would text me immediately.
Well, of course he would. But number two when you would talk to me, like every week, my mind would be mush.
How
more mush than it is now.
Damn it. You cut me off. That's where I was going. I was like, I might not notice then, because every time we're watching something that you called, you're like, don't remember this. Was I there for that? Never heard of it. Who was that?
I remember some things.
You'd remember her.
Yeah, buddy.
There's the Shane twins. By the way, one of the great, by the way, I want to mention, love me some Brian Knobs, pulling for him, had some real health scare incidents, and survived and pulled through. Yeah. Got to see him this past July in Nashville. And, what a funny human being. What a fun time he had. The life of the party, even when you could tell he's diminished a little bit physically. He was still sharp as a tack, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he always had a very engaging personality. Obviously, a little. Heenan thought that he and Sags were a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
he said, "Those guys just drive me crazy." Oh, they did the job. How about that?
Well, they're trying to get the Johnsons over.
Yeah. But I always like Brian. It gets me to thinking too. We've had so many wrestlers. Let's say
look at here. The Road Warriors show up.
How about that?
Hey man, that's a big get. I mean, it's a cool presentation, especially for a DVD or cover, your art, your graphic, just those shoulder pads and that face paint. That's a big deal.
Yes, sir.
And they're coming out to just raise the hands of the Shane twins. Let them know, hey, the Shane twins are the baby faces. You don't know who they are, so quit booing the Nasty Boys.
It gets me to thinking, we've had a lot of wrestlers, the age of the guys here that have, obviously the Road Warriors both have passed on. And I know there's been talk about, and rightfully so, steroids, but I wonder if wrestlers would have had better health in their later years. Well, they're going to talk.
This country from one federation to the other. Now we're here in the Big Ten, the XWF, and we are going to kick your butt so hard, I'm going to squish the stinking plugs out of your stinking ears. The XWF. What a rush!
The Road Warriors, as we take you now to Willie Nelson, along with Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
What?
Congratulations to you and Huck and all the guys on the new Wrestling Association. Start at the bottom, you go right to the top, don't mess with that in between. Well, we all believe in America, and we all believe in free enterprise, and we definitely believe in XWF. Good luck and go after them. Oh! Get in your face!
My God. I mean, think about that. Gene Simmons so far.
Alice Cooper,
Willie Nelson, and now Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig versus Vampiro.
Mm-hmm.
It's a who's who. I mean, you had the right collection of folks, just timing is everything in business.
Yeah. So my question again is, and I never did really get it out. I wonder if guys would have had better health. We blame their lack of health in their later years to taking all these bumps and all the travel, but I think it goes down to lack of health care, don't you?
Wow. Okay.
I mean, really. If I really think the kids today are doing crazier things, but they're adjusted, and we have doctors on staff, and I just think the longevity is going to be better than the old school guys. Here's Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Is that his WrestleMania 3 jacket?
It might be.
Holy shit, dude.
So let me tell you the Bobby the Brain Heenan story here.
Okay.
We were in the back, and Bobby Heenan
That was
said,
Doug Dillinger over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his WrestleMania 3 jacket, dude.
How about that? We were in the back, and let's
Bobby,
listen to Heenan.
Okay.
To do justice. I am no longer a manager. I am now an agent. And I'm an agent for probably the greatest athlete in pro sports today. He's the man that made Minnesota famous. He is the most accomplished wrestler you'll ever see. Ladies and gentlemen, stand up and give a big hand to the one and only Curt Hennig.
Curt Hennig! Bobby the...
All right, so chat me up. You're talking about Bobby backstage.
We're all sitting backstage, and Heenan was telling us as a group, not just me, that he is having trouble talking.
Damn it.
He doesn't understand what's going on. He says, like, my mouth is like just not working right. And that was the beginning of what we knew would be the end of his life. Isn't it something?
Man,
I remember that vividly, him talking about it, saying, I don't know what's wrong. And you could even tell right there when he introduced Curt Hennig.
He sounded different.
He sounded different. Yeah. So there you go.
Now, I'm not, listen, we have a lot of fun on the show, and we fuck around, and we just fuck with each other. I'm not doing that here. I'm legitimately asking. You've told us before on the show that you and he didn't have the best relationship when WCW went down.
Right.
Was that the case already when you saw each other here, or not yet?
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of, when we first saw each other, it was kind of very awkward.
I see.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is. And then, of course, 2 years later, now 2 years later in 2003, I believe I got the year right, we went to Cincinnati to do voiceover for a video game that we never got paid for. And his voice was really, really going downhill then. And he and I had a long talk. I never will forget. He wanted to talk to me, and we went in they had a kitchen area there at the studio. We went there and we talked for a long time.
Were you sort of quote unquote squashing the beef or no?
Yes, we did. And the last thing he said, call me sometimes. I said, okay. Which I didn't.
Just to remind everybody, this happens in November of 2001. Heenan would announce in January of 2002 that he had throat cancer.
Right.
So just 2 months later.
Right.
And by 2004, the cancer had gone into remission, but he had to have reconstructive surgery done on his jaw in December of 2007 because the first surgery was unsuccessful.
Right.
And in the second half of January 2008, he came out of a medically induced coma, and for a time he was unable to speak and had to communicate with his eyes. By December of 2009, he was hospitalized after an examination of his rebuilt jaw found an infection that needed to be treated. And he really struggled towards the end. In 2010, he broke a hip and shoulder in a fall. He also fractured his pelvis. He fell out of bed and broke his shoulder in April of 2014. In May of 2016, he fell again and broke his hip. And unfortunately, September of 2017, just over 5 years ago, he passed away at the age of just 72 years old at his home there in Largo, Florida.
That is, that's a terrible story. When you think of the struggles he had health-wise in his later years.
Yeah, you don't wish that on anybody, regardless of what the circumstances were.
Right. And again, I mean, I just wonder if, as he is going through his years in wrestling, because he was old school, so he traveled a lot without health care. I just wonder if better health care, as he's, would have maybe helped him along. I don't know.
Well, there's no health care in wrestling, right? Unless you work for the office.
Back then, no, there wasn't.
I don't think there is now. Like everybody's an independent contractor. Now, if you're quote unquote office, that's different.
Yeah. Wow. But I don't, I think you may be right. I think, most of the guys, and I should know this.
Vampiro gets the win over Kurt Hennig. That only gives us like a minute and a half left in the program. So I guess that's effectively our TV main event for the first episode. And it looks like it's coming to a head. We got Rena Mero and Roddy Piper climbing in the ring. Yeah. And they're together raising Vampiro's hand at the end of XWF episode 1. I could see, based on the look and presentation, why you would want to bank on Vampiro. Let's take a listen to Nasty Boy here.
One hell of a battle royal. Kid Cash, our first XWF Cruiserweight champion. And our good friends, Willie Nelson and Alice Cooper, stopping by to say a few things. Hey, old feuds rekindling, the Road Warriors again after the Nasty Boys' butts. But unfortunately, Road Warrior Hawk and Kurt Hennig are no longer with us. They will be deeply missed in the wrestling world and beloved by fans all over the world. They were friends, true friends with me and Jimmy Hart, and we will never forget them, and neither will the XWF.
Boy, you're right. Kurt and Hawk will never be forgotten. I'll tell you that right now.
So there you go. There's episode 1 of the XWF. Tony, I didn't know exactly what to expect, but man, it felt like there was a lot of big opportunity there. I mean, all of the, the things you would look for in a big promotion as far as star power and presentation, it was there.
Star power, it was there. Substance really was not, because the matches were very, very short, a lot more talking and substance. But again, they're trying to introduce everyone to the promotion and get the big names over. So
it's tough in an hour-long program too.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Well, listen, boys and girls, we hope that you dug a little stroll down memory lane here as we went back to November 2001. So if the XWF was born in November of 2001, here we are at the end of November. Tony, you could legally get drunk with the XWF right now. It's 21 years old.
I could get drunk with the XWF?
If the XWF was born in November of 2001,
then I could get drunk with them.
They just could go to the bar 21. And drink with me. Yeah, you could have fucked it 3 years ago. But
well, according to Marty Jannetty,
I might not have to wait that long. I don't know.
Marty Jannetty would have fucked him.
What kind of insurance do I have for this? Well, that's probably what you need to be thinking about for the members of your family on 4 legs. Of course, I'm talking about our friends at Embrace Pet Insurance. I really, really believe in this product because, man, my family has had some circumstances over the last several months where we had to make some tough decisions, and it was about pet care. And hey, we're not sure if there's anything we can do, but there is this one thing we can try, but it's no guarantee. But boy, it's awfully expensive. We did it, but boy, at that time, I sure was thinking to myself, got to be a better way. And that's how we became introduced with Embrace Pet Insurance. And let's be honest, one of the most important little heartbeats in your life are our 4-legged friends. I've been out of town for a bit, and I cannot tell you how excited I was to not only get home and have my own bed, my own shower, and all those creature comforts, but what I was most excited about is when I get in my chair and then here come my girls. Man, that's so fun. I'm talking about Ginger and Baby. We all know how Tony feels about Bug. But let's also be honest, man, having a pet is expensive. From the natural pet food to pet sitting when you go on vacation, man, all those costs can skyrocket quickly. But one thing that's definitely worth it for your fur baby is pet insurance. You know that Tony loves Bug and that I love Ginger and Baby. We want to do everything we can to help them live a happy, full life. This podcast, and we're so grateful for them as a sponsor, is sponsored by Embrace Pet Insurance. It's time to upgrade your pet insurance game. Whether you have a dog or a cat, Embrace Pet Insurance offers customized plans for your exact needs. And here's something you're going to learn the hard way. Veterinary care prices have increased by a third. That's right. They're up 33% from last year to this year. It's just insane. But now with Embrace Pet Insurance, you can visit any veterinarian or emergency clinic. If you have multiple pets, you can even be eligible for a 10% multi-pet discount. They've even got a 24/7 helpline and optional wellness rewards to help ensure you prioritize preventative care for your pet. So hopefully you never need to use Embrace in the first place. But what happened is my daughter, Kansas, man, she's had a little doggy for 9 years, lived with her and her mom in more recent years. And man, she just loved that little rascal. And things were tough. All of a sudden, she got sick, bad. And those pet bills were thousands of dollars. They weren't sure what to do. Dad saved the day, but boy, do I wish we had Embrace Pet Insurance. We wouldn't have had to deplete some savings and really tap that when we weren't planning on it. And let me just say this too. I know some of our listeners might think that pet insurance is unnecessary or pricey, but let me just go ahead and give you the heads up here. This is a great testimonial I want to share with you. Embrace made such a tremendous difference in my life. I could make decisions for my dog without thinking about my own needs. I could give him whatever the vet suggested he needed, thinking only of how to best help him. Every part of this process was easy, from getting a pre-existing condition screening to making claims to being reimbursed, and every person I spoke to at Embrace was compassionate and professional. My advice is to get coverage early and get it from Embrace. It was not just a good financial decision for us, but the most humane and caring one. The reality is eventually you're going to be faced with this option of, hey, do I do what's best for my pet that I love, or what's best for my financial situation? Don't put yourself in that spot. Let Embrace sort of bridge that gap for you. Don't wait for the unexpected to happen. Join the massive community of pet owners who trust Embrace Pet Insurance to protect their pet. Head over to embracepetinsurance.com/WHW and sign up for pet insurance today. Now make sure you go to embracepetinsurance.com/WHW, or else they won't know I sent you. That's embracepetinsurance.com/WHW.
Well, this bonus podcast is going to take us to Shreveport, Louisiana, or do you say Shreveport, Louisiana? I'm never sure about that. But Brooke and her husband, Patrick, Brooke Baucom McGaugh, and her husband, you are her husband, right, Patrick?
I've been told that.
I've been told that. Gosh. Jesus Christ.
See, I want to tell you that had someone come to me and said, "Are you Lois Schiavone's husband?" I would have been very definite and said, "Hell no." But somebody told me that.
Yeah, I'm just an old dumbass.
Nah, man, listen. Here's a story not many people know. Brooke and Patrick were just at the house for Thanksgiving. We all went to WrestleK together. And because Patrick gives Brooke such a hard time, we knew in our heart of hearts that when Patrick walked through the door, that Lois was going to give him shit. Well, yeah, it actually turned around. Lois loves Patrick, and I don't know.
It baffles me because Patrick was scared of Lois, and then all of a sudden Lois is texting me like, "Tell Patrick thank you for taking out the trash," and I'm just like, what is this? This is the turn of the century.
Yeah, well, you won the old woman over, Patrick. You did a great job, brother.
So see, Adam Demoy, there's hope for you too.
No, we're not going to go that far. It was great having you guys here for Thanksgiving, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the match that Brooke chose for the November bonus, WrestleMania 38, Sami Zayn against Johnny Knoxville. And Brooke, I want to say that Conrad and I have already watched this as you and I are recording this.
Right.
And I laughed hard. Boy, what an enjoyable match that was. Tell us what you thought about it. What you remember about it.
I mean, the reason why I love the match is it's the reason why I watch wrestling. Like, I watch it to laugh, have fun, that's why I picked it. It's got so many moments in it, from Wee Man slamming Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
I think, Patrick, your favorite spot was the giant hand.
Yeah, when the giant hand came out and slapped Johnny Knoxville and knocked him over, but the Wee Man spot where he picked up Sami Zayn,
legendary.
It was like Hulk Hogan and Andre all over.
I think it eclipsed Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. This is the new spot, but yeah, it was a great, fun match.
Yeah, it was. My favorite spot is when, and this made me laugh. You'll hear it. Johnny Knoxville got that device to kick him in the nuts with it. I mean, yeah. You just can't kick me in the nuts yourself. You got to have a device to do it. It is really. I'm going to be honest with you, and this comes from a guy who's done a lot. It's kind of what wrestling is all about. Like you said, Brooke, it's having fun. And so yeah, it's from WrestleMania 38. By the way, it's the second night of WrestleMania, so we'll talk you through that. So how was your trip back? Okay.
It wasn't bad. I mean, we got kicked out by Delta when you dropped us off.
Yeah.
They were just like, no, you think you're celebrities, but you're going up front with the regular people. Yeah, but other than that, like, we got back really quick, and Merlin was waiting on us. Poor Izzy, we had to pick her up this morning, but no, everything was great. We're more than appreciative for everything.
We had a great time. Merlin is their cat, and Izzy is their dog. And they are animal lovers like Lois and I are. We really appreciate you guys. And thanks a lot for being here. And thanks a lot for the suggestions. So we're going to watch from WrestleMania 38, Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville, the Jackass match, as we call it. And it's going to be coming up in a moment. Patrick, any parting words from you?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
All right, that was your moment.
That was your one. All right, guys, love you both. Thanks a lot. And we'll watch all this together, okay?
All right, love you, Tony. Bye.
Thank you, Tony. Love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett, First Arcade, 605 NWA, TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede, Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team, Turner, Barton, Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and friends know they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off, center stage, Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro, New World Order, and The Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lois rules, cat back. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chant. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when? WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and we are all up in that ass with a little bonus content from Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, Conrad, how you doing? Dave Silva's on the other end as well. He'll give us a nice little countdown here. You know what I like about Dave Silva?
What do you like about Dave Silva?
Nothing. So I want to do say a very special hello to the lady who suggested this, who's a good friend. Her and her husband just spent Thanksgiving with the Schiavone family. Brooke Baucom.
Okay.
Brooke is the one that suggested this bonus episode. Here's to you, Brooke. Love you. You're a great kid. You know, I adopted Brooke a couple of years ago at Top Guy Weekend.
Well, we all need that every now and again. A little Tony Schiavone in our life. Good for you guys.
Yeah, she's a good person. So anyway, so much for that. And yeah, we're going to look at WrestleMania and the most recent WrestleMania, right?
Yep. Now, I think, if memory serves, I know you stopped by our Airbnb in Dallas and saw a little bit of this show, but I don't know if it was this match or not. Did you see this match with me or no?
I did not stop by your Airbnb in Dallas, that I recall.
You did, because you had Regal with you and you came inside and...
Oh, that was in Dallas?
Yeah. It all runs together at your age, doesn't it?
Boy, does it ever. Yes, exactly right. And I remember Regal coming out because you guys were watching the Hall of Fame induction.
It was indeed Saturday. Yeah.
That's right. And because it was the Undertaker's induction, right?
Yeah. He was out there doing a Britney Spears concert with that microphone.
Really?
He had a headset mic like Britney Spears. It was a little
did he
wild.
really?
Here's the most controversial, most debated, most discussed, most underrated WrestleMania match maybe in history.
Right.
It was WrestleMania 38, the Sunday show. So yeah, we definitely didn't see this one together. We saw some of Saturday together. This is season 38, episode 4, whatever that means. Go to WrestleMania 38 Sunday. Then I want you to click to 53:26.
Right.
Tony, what time is it again?
53:26.
There it is.
And, you know, you can call it controversial, much discussed, blah, blah, blah. But here's the reason Brooke wanted to see it and the reason many fans loved it. And it's really, to me, the reason we love pro wrestling. And this is what she said, very simply. It was fun.
It was fun.
There you go. It was fun. All right.
I think it's one of the most fun WrestleMania matches in history. I thought it really showed what Sami Zayn could do. And Sami Zayn had at different times trouble finding his voice in the WWE under the old regime. This is still Vince McMahon's WWE we're about to see. And I think a lot of people could be given this task of wrestling Johnny Knoxville in a quote unquote Jackass promotion match and think this is less than, this is not what I wanted to do. This isn't why I wanted to sign up. You know, I can't believe they got me doing this bullshit. There is a negative way to approach this. And then there's the very appropriate way that Sami Zayn did. And Sami Zayn, I think now is a bigger star than ever. And I can't help but think a lot of that momentum and a lot of that faith and confidence from the promotion started with this particular show. Don't get me wrong. One of the best in-ring performers of all time, but this really showed his range, if that makes sense. And to see what he's done with the bloodline, I think you could say that a lot of it started with this. I think you're going to love this. So without further ado, get your cock out. Season 38, episode 4, WrestleMania 38. It's Sunday. 53:26 is where we want to go. Let's tag in that fucking goof and do a countdown.
And here we go in 3, 2, 1, play.
Lights, camera, action.
This is Johnny Knoxville, star of the incredibly popular Jackass franchise.
I want to make a run for the WWE's Royal Rumble.
Look at this, Johnny Knoxville.
Hi, Sammy. And this is WWE superstar Sami Zayn.
You're not qualified to do this. Just stay out of everybody's way.
Knoxville dumping Zayn over the top rope. Johnny Knoxville is now in the Royal Rumble match. And look at Knoxville go. Bring it. Not sure how wise that was. Johnny Knoxville thinks he can do what I do, but he can't. I can do anything that he can do. The most spectacular stunt show ever. Are you ready for some insane? This is self-defense. Oh, does that hurt so much?
I've been around a lot of these weapons. Somebody forgot to turn it on.
Sami Zayn got my personal phone number and was texting and stalking me all day. So today, I am flying his phone number over Los Angeles.
Where did you get this number? It's on Instagram? The subway station? It was on the wall?
Mwah, mwah.
62,826 texts. I'm at a restaurant. Can I just order my food?
Stop ringing!
Knoxville's gonna pay.
Hi! Is this Sami Zayn?
Show a little respect for your new... What the hell do you think you're doing here?
Well, you crashed my premiere.
Oh, yeah, you tossed out.
Yeah. So I thought I should do the same. How you doing, Sammy?
The greatest Intercontinental Champion in history.
Ricochet's the champion! Johnny Knoxville pumped that he could ruin Sami Zayn's life. That championship is mine!
Sammy sucks!
You have the balls. WrestleMania Sunday, anything goes!
I accept, Schnookums. You're toast.
Hey, that was a fun build, was it not?
It was. That was. A couple of things in there popped me. Yeah. Sami Zayn has really found his niche, hasn't he?
Yes.
Yes, he has. Look at this.
He's having a lot of fun. I mean, fun is the right word. Brooke nailed it.
Yes, it is. Yep.
All right. By now you guys know that once upon a time, I hurt my knee in football, never really got it fixed. And well, it's just gotten worse and worse. And some days are better than others, but there's some days where, man, it's just hard to get that rascal going. That's when I found topical CBD, specifically the amazing kind, and I've started using it and I can tell a difference. I really, really recommend you try it out. If you've got a problem with a shoulder or a hip or an elbow, mine's in my knee, and I'm telling you, it works. The Amazing Kind is a family-run business specializing in plant-based pain relief and wellness support for both mood and sleep. You'll find that their products are of the highest quality and sourced from GMP certified manufacturers. In fact, their products are all tested for quality and purity to make sure that what you're buying is of the highest quality and is exactly what it says it is on the label. Now, the Amazing Kind, they offer a wide range of high-quality topicals, infused oils, and soft gels, including CBD, CBG, and CBN. Now, the Amazing Kind CBD topicals are easy to apply and can be used as needed. That makes them so convenient for on-the-go relief. And that's what I've started doing. I keep some at the house. I keep some at the office. I highly recommend it. If you've got some localized pain, these topicals can be applied directly to the area that's giving you some pain or some discomfort. Maybe it's not a joint like me. Maybe you got some sore muscles. Maybe you have a specific skin condition. They can help alleviate pain and inflammation in the target area. These topicals are like creams and lotions and balms and oils, all infused with CBD, but there's so many other benefits, even anti-inflammatory. You see, CBD has been shown as a potential anti-inflammatory agent, and when it's applied topically, it can reduce the inflammation. That'll even help you with really serious things like arthritis or dermatitis, or maybe just general skin irritation. How about muscle recovery? If you've been pushing it too hard and maybe you're sore, why not use a CBD topical to aid in that muscle recovery? If you're doing a post-workout soreness, or maybe you just got some neck tension, I'm telling you, my wife and I were sold on the Amazing Kind. You can also use it for skin health to help for things like acne and psoriasis and eczema, even dry skin. Some people have even said that it improves their skin texture and reduces some redness. But the chronic pain conditions, that's what I'm talking about. Even things like fibromyalgia and neuropathy, those folks can still find help with a CBD topical on the affected area. I've never been suffering from migraines, but I've got somebody I work with who's really close in my life, and they tell me that CBD topicals even help them with their migraines. So think of the Amazing Kind for that. It also just helps you relax. Maybe if you're trying to get a massage and you want to just rub this stuff in, why not? The Amazing Kind is a plant-based topical product for relief from all your aches and pains that are associated with exercise, physical activity, sore muscles, sore joints, inflammation, and arthritis. And you can buy it right now and get 10% off all your orders with the promo code WRESTLE at theamazingkind.com. That's theamazingkind.com, and use our promo code WRESTLE. You'll save 10% off at theamazingkind.com.
Look at this entrance.
It's
have you heard that maybe he wasn't the easiest guy to deal with?
I have heard from older wrestling folks. I'm not saying that to be ugly, but folks in their 50s and 60s who would say he's a pain in the ass.
Right.
And I think, boy, I'm going to annoy some people here.
Okay.
But here's what I think.
All right.
I think once upon a time, if you spend a lot of time worrying about the quality of your match, and you spent a lot of time preparing and going over it and making sure that it was right and doing the walkthroughs and all that stuff, then you were considered a mark.
Right. A pain in the ass.
Because it's like in the old school mentality, we already got their money. Fuck them if they don't like it.
Yeah. Right.
And that is a short-sighted negative attitude that took this business to be what everybody called cyclical. Yep. And I would challenge and say, was it really cyclical or was your effort cyclical? Because when your fandom when your effort is cyclical, so will my fandom.
Yeah. It kind of goes back to what I said on the recent episode of What Happened When, that no showing,
it crushes
shows, just kills your promotion. See the lowest rule sign?
I do. It's a WrestleMania tradition. If you don't sign up, I mean, seriously, like what you're talking about, I think is spot on. Like if you don't show up often enough, eventually you won't have a place to show up to. And it might not be because you're going to get fired. It'll be because you contributed to the contraction of the business because you decided that caring wasn't cool.
Yeah.
In an effort to be cool, we're not going to talk through our match. What the fuck? We're going to call it in the ring. Fucking goof. Do you care about stars? No, they care about getting their performance right. They care about making, I mean, look at what Sami Zayn did here. And I know you're watching it, but see, that's the cast of Jackass.
Okay.
And he put this match together. He was meticulous with it. And the result is a phenomenal show on the biggest possible platform with a non-wrestler.
Right.
Johnny Knoxville doesn't know anything about wrestling for real.
No.
He's seen it. Like, he knows as much as anybody listening to this does, but you know what I mean? Like, he's not done this before. And now he's at WrestleMania. This is a huge opportunity. Not just for Jackass, not just for Johnny Knoxville, but for Sami Zayn. But imagine the pressure. And yes, I have heard, he's a pain in the ass. And I don't think that's a complete sentence. I say the complete sentence is, he's a pain in the ass because he cares too much.
Yeah.
Well, give me somebody who cares too much as opposed to somebody who cares too little every fucking day.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm guilty of that. There's people that I have worked with before who I would say, golly, they just wear me out.
Yeah.
Because they ask 900 questions. And I feel like, hey man, you're going to learn by doing. But I would much rather someone be too interested in doing a good job rather than not interested enough in doing a good job.
Yeah. I think that, and I know this now more than ever. I think if you take a gigantic trash can and throw all the pains in the asses that you've known in pro wrestling in there, and open it up, you would find a bunch of guys who legitimately are just pieces of shit. But you would find a bunch of guys too that just really, really cared about their character and cared about their presentation and cared about the business.
Yes.
So I get that. Listen, I know from working backstage, some kids wear you out, buddy.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that. I don't mind them caring about that.
It comes from a good place of, hey, I want this show to be good. I want to do as well as I can. I want to exceed expectations. It doesn't come from a place of, hey, I just want to be a pain in your ass.
Right.
Now don't get me wrong. Maybe that happens occasionally. And sometimes you run across a personality that just rubs people the wrong way.
Okay. Something is in
that's a bowling
duffel bag.
That looks like a bowling ball bag.
Okay. Bowling ball bag. I thought maybe it was one of those, things to start your heart, one of those,
I don't think that's it.
Okay.
But I mean, listen, if I go into check that out. What do you think that could be?
I don't, at first I thought maybe it was a mouse trap, but hell, it could be a fucking alligator.
It is indeed mouse traps.
Okay. Oh, I see them now. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun if they had a real live alligator under there?
Wouldn't it be great? And it killed one of them.
And so now you want people dead, Tony.
Well, I mean, you said you're the one that with the alligator under the ring. So what do you think the alligator's going to do? Is going to work?
What, you said alligator?
Do you think the alligators say we got a working alligator here? Don't worry. When he bites you, it won't be hard. He's just working.
I know if this was an AEW,
you fucking goof you.
I know if this was an AEW match, it wouldn't be a table full of mousetraps. It'd be a vat of mimosas.
You're never going to forget that one, are you?
Well, I wish I could.
You're never going to forget that.
Oh no, don't let him fall in the goddamn orange juice. Fuck. Is he in the orange juice again?
And he did. Conrad, can I just say something to you?
Please do.
Stop.
Collaborate and listen.
Oh. This is, I'm sure you've watched plenty of Jackasses, haven't you?
Every one of them in the theater the day they came out.
Yeah. And you know what I like better than Jackass? Was my favorite movie was Bad Grandpa.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, that when they gimmicked up the horse outside of the it still makes me laugh. They gimmicked up the little horse outside of the store and it went through the window. I fucking died.
I tell this story with Rick all the time.
Uh-huh.
Let's track a little bit of Bad Grandpa.
Hola, gorgeous. I gotta feed this little prick. Oh, she is muy bonita, huh? My goodness.
Grandpa, look at that ride. Can I go ride it?
What?
Can I go ride that?
Yes. Scram.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Gloria.
My Spanish name is El Mucho Ding Dong.
I have used that line with Ric Flair many times.
El Mucho Ding Dong.
Speaking of ding dongs, here comes Party Boy.
Oh.
I would love to see. I could totally see Chris Schiavone doing Party Boy for Halloween or Christmas for that matter.
Yeah, or just going to the office.
The tearaway Adidas track pants, and the bow tie and the cufflinks. That's Chris Schiavone. I could see it.
Look at him sing. Dun, dun, dun.
There he is, Party Boy. There it is.
This is. Look at the fans; they're into it.
You're having fun. Look at you. This is good use of a celebrity.
Yes, it is. Oh God. Oh God. When he dressed up his grandson in drag and put him to that beauty pageant. Oh.
You love Bad Grandpa. I had no idea.
It made me laugh big time. I mean, hysterically gut laugh type. There was only one other movie I can recall that made me laugh out loud, gut laugh, and that was when I first saw Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, that killed me too back in the early 90s. Like 1990, I guess it was.
What was the line that got you in Christmas Vacation?
Yeah. No thanks, Clark. Ever since I got that plate in my head, and ever since wife revs up the microwave, I piss myself and forget who I am for like 10 minutes or whatever. That fucking, the way he delivered that line.
So this is Wee Man now, who, by the way, in real life, 2 nights prior to this, was given an F5 onto the dinner table in a fancy steakhouse, breaking glasses and plates and all that. Yeah. But Brock Lesnar saw him and said, "Fuck this little guy," and put him through a restaurant table. The table didn't break, but everything on it did. And look at this, Wee Man with a body slam on Sami Zayn. It's like,
look at the fan.
WrestleMania. Hey, Ric Flair's calling me right now.
Oh God.
That's what it looks like when he calls you, by the way.
Yeah. Tell him we're busy. You're taking a shit or something. Whoa, and he kicked out.
Hello? Hey, man, I'm recording with Tony Schiavone. Can I call you right back? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Can you say that again for me?
Tell Tony Schiavone that I'm with Wendy, and Wendy's an adult woman, and I want him to know that he can suck my dick.
Okay. That's what we needed. Thanks, champ. Call you right back.
Tony?
Yeah.
He heard you. He said, yeah.
Yeah, tell him I'm never taking him to another massage parlor in Wyoming again.
Okay. Copy that.
Where the women are older than us.
Not many of those left.
I love you. I'll call you back.
30 miles out of fucking Wyoming to find a place.
Desperate times.
Hard to find Asian chicks in the woods.
Goodbye.
Well, that was an unexpected treat, wasn't it?
I was like, wait a minute. Why am I not answering that? Let's just put him on speaker. See what we can do.
Because he's going to come up with something, and damn, he sure did, didn't he?
So he just kicked Wee Man in the face pretty hard. Down goes Wee Man, and now he's just wearing out Johnny Knoxville. Sami Zayn has this match firmly in hand.
Yeah. I think Johnny's doing a good job in this, man.
Of course.
Of course, if you're on Jackass, doesn't it kind of prepare you to take bumps anyway, right?
Well, I don't know about that.
And to sell.
Look at this. Triggered the pyro behind him. Sami Zayn falls, hits himself in the ding dong. Now he's in the corner with his legs spread, and here comes Knoxville. What do you know? It was indeed a bowling ball.
Oh my God. 7-10 split.
Oh.
Oh God. Brooke is right, man. This is so much fun, isn't it?
We're not done. Kicked him right in the dick with the fake foot. Is this the most fun you've ever had watching wrestling?
I think so. He's like, oh, we got to get that contraption.
One of my friends had these at parties. He used to pull it out, thought it was fun. It is not.
So he's got a taser now.
Yeah, it's hard to work one of those, kids. You either going to get tased or you're not.
Giant hand. The Andre hand took him down.
Oh God. Is Johnny bleeding there?
Probably.
Or is that just, they kind of missed the shot. Wow. This is pretty freaking cool, man.
Yeah, it is. Up we go for a suplex.
Has been a goodness. This is incredible. Now Sami thought twice about going up on the ring post, right? Don't blame him.
Testing to see if the pyro would go off behind him like it did last time.
I mean, this is well done.
Yeah, it is.
By the way, Meltzer would say Johnny Knoxville and the Jackass gang had a polarizing match with Sami Zayn. There's a few notes in the evaluation. Many of the silly skits got over, some didn't. Wee Man tore the house down, particularly body slamming Zayn. Zayn was tremendous. The actual wrestling was badly done, being generous. If you're a fan of Jackass, it worked. If you were someone who doesn't like Jackass, it could be different. Some people had it as the best match on the show. Many people had it as the worst. And that's hard to believe when you had a show with McMahon versus McAfee.
Okay.
I thought this was a fun show, and if you disagree, you're incorrect.
Yeah. All right, they're not done yet. Now the Jackass crew is going to.
As a giant mousetrap, Tony. Giant. And now, after getting thrown through a table covered in mousetraps, The Jackass crew members, Wee Man and Party Boy, they throw Sami Zayn into the ring where the giant mousetrap awaits. Johnny Knoxville has the zapper. Here we go.
Hand right to the stomach. Zayn is down and out. You don't want to be there, Sami.
Sami, that's where the cheese goes, Sami.
Sami, get the hell out of there. Or you're going to look like Swiss cheese.
Trap the rat.
He's not going to do this. No way.
No. Oh no.
Yeah, that's.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
All right. So the gimmick didn't work well, but still he's pinned with the mousetrap, and there it is. Johnny Knoxville gets the win. They go 14-26. Meltzer would say this was a comedy match. Zayn hit a hell of a kick early, but instead of going for the pin, started laughing at Knoxville. As a wrestler, Knoxville was pretty bad, but even he was better than Vince McMahon. They used a fire extinguisher, a crutch, garbage can lids. Zayn used an exploder through a table. He went for a hell of a kick, but Knoxville blocked it by using an air horn. Like he used an air horn and suddenly Zayn couldn't do the move. Chris Pontius was in the ring and took off his pants and was wearing a thong. Wee Man came from under the ring and attacked Zayn. People popped big for him, especially the body slam spot. Knoxville used the tornado DDT. Zayn kicked Wee Man in the face. Zayn's on the top rope. Somehow Knoxville got out of this deal, but pushed a button and Pyro appeared from the post. Knoxville used a bowling ball to the crotch. He used a kicking machine to kick Zayn low. Time had to stand still here for Knoxville to figure out how to make it work. And Zayn was chasing him on the floor and he ran into a giant hand. On social media, the idea was it was the son of Mark Henry and Mae Young. Knoxville gave Zayn a taser shot to the groin and threw him over the top rope onto a table with mousetraps. The entire Jackass crew brought in a giant mousetrap. It's the fakest looking thing imaginable. Does Dave think they really have mousetraps that fucking size? The entire Jackass crew brought in a giant mousetrap. It was the fakest looking thing imaginable. Knoxville gave Zayn a taser. It's so fake looking. Well, I wonder fucking why, Dave. Because there's not 300-pound mice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You can't go to the mousetrap company and say, can you make me a mousetrap for 300 pounds over a 300-pound mouse? Jesus Christ, Dave.
Knoxville gave Zayn a taser to the stomach so he'd be selling and they could snap the mousetrap on him. Problem is, Knoxville forgot how to use it. They kept trying to figure it out. Finally, he did. The crowd got into the celebrities from Jackass. The stuff looked terrible with people constantly getting lost and Zayn having to hold it together, but it tore the house down.
Yeah.
So listen, that right there, what comes after the comma is what matters, boys and girls. Let that be a lesson to all of us. Comma, but it tore the house down. That's what you want.
That's exactly what you want.
You're doing, we're not performing wrestling or matches or whatever skits, promos, et cetera, for critical review. At the end of the day, the WWE, nor Sami Zayn, nor Jackass make any more or less money based on a star rating or someone's opinion of the match who wasn't actually there. Someone who bought a ticket and came in and paid for parking and bought a souvenir cup and sat down and watched the show, man, that's who we're doing it for.
That's right.
And it says, comma, but it tore the house down. Well, ain't no buts. It tore the house down, period. Great job by Sami Zayn. I understand it's not what you would normally see at a WrestleMania, but I can say as far as use of WrestleMania in matches, that's about as good as it's going to get, man.
I loved every bit of it. For me, it's 5 stars because I had a good time.
It's fun. It's something that we'll remember. And, a lot of times we watch so much wrestling that it just sort of runs together. Well, nobody will forget some of the shit that we saw in that.
Does it ever run together? You're right. Thank you, Brooke. Good suggestion. A lot of fun today.
Great suggestion. I had a lot of fun with these bonus episodes. Hope you guys did too. We do them each and every month here for you on Patreon. We're really having a lot of fun putting them together. Hope you're having half as much fun as Tony and I are recording them. Your support here on Patreon means a lot to me and my family, and certainly to Tony and his family. And man, if you got suggestions, some stuff you want us to see, or you want us to do, anything we can do to enhance your experience or bring around some new matches, some new bonus content, drop it in the comments below. We want to exceed your expectations. We want to over deliver, and we do that with your feedback. So Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Hope everybody's got big Christmas plans. Tony, what's the Christmas plan at your house? I know you had a bunch of people over for Thanksgiving. What's Christmas looking like?
We may go up to New Jersey and spend it with Matt and his wife up there.
Still undecided on that?
Yeah, because we got to drive up there if we do. So
why do you have to drive? Just travel during the holidays on an airplane is tough?
No, yeah, because we take our dogs with us.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So how long of a trek would
I don't know.
be?
We may come over to Huntsville.
Come on. That'd be fun, man. We open presents on Christmas Eve. I'm doing a prime rib this year. Going to smoke it on the grill. It's going to be fantastic. And then, of course, Christmas Day is where the fun eating happens. Mom's going to break out everything, including JR's favorite, the cornbread dressing. And I'll do one of those turkeys again that you say I don't make worth a damn.
Okay, so we won't be coming, but thank you for the offer.
You're welcome, you motherfucker. Unfortunately, right now, it looks like it's about that time.
Yes, I'm on the phone with the Portland Critter Control. Yes, Tony Schiavone, I need a mouse trap one for Dave Silva and one for Conrad Thompson.
Whoa.
Right. Okay.
Jumbos.
Yeah. All right. They said they'll what? Yeah, right. Okay, good. Bye. They don't make them that big. We're desperately out of time. See you next week on What Happened When. And each and every month we do a bonus podcast. Not one, but two. Only on
Patreon. Patreon.com. Yeah. Hey, man. Yeah, I told him to suck your dick. I did. I know there's no Asians in the woods. I don't know. I gotta go. Hey, we're still on Patreon. Patreon.com/WHW Monday. Thanks, guys. We'll see you again around Christmas time.
Fuck Ric Flair.
Did you put Christmas on a credit card? Don't stress out about that extra holiday spending. SaveWithConrad.com can help you consolidate all of your high interest rate credit cards into one much lower monthly payment. SaveWithConrad.com has helped families just like yours save up to $800 a month. You don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket. And did I mention no payments until March? So don't make saving money a resolution next year. Make it happen today at SaveWithConrad.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what AdFreeShows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-Free Shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that AdFreeShows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. AdFreeShows.com.